So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for me to welcome you to the final episode of the FIFA 19 Wolves career mode here in season number 1. And I don't mean the final episode just generally speaking, I mean the final episode of the season 1 finale. This is where everything is decided. We've got 4 games left, as you can see. In April we've got Brighton and Watford, and then in May we have games against Fulham, and the final game of the season is against Liverpool here on Sunday the 12th of May. However, it was alerted to me in the comment section last time that actually we've guaranteed European football already, technically speaking, by winning the Carabao Cup against Manchester United. Of course, that means we are guaranteed to be playing in the Europa League next season. Obviously, we can achieve more than that across the league season. If we have a very good episode, we could potentially sneak the top 4, but it's nice to have that cushion just in case this episode is as difficult as the last. Now, as I mentioned, last episode was a difficult one, but one man did shine and stand out, and that was João Moutinho, who grabbed himself 3 goals across the course of that one, and also including 2 in that brilliant game at the start of last episode against Arsenal. So he grabs himself 3 points overall in the tables for getting potential boosted in the next transfer window, and the 2 points in that one go to a newcomer. Morgan Gibbs-White gets himself on the score sheet for the first time. Jadon Sancho, after winning last time, gets himself an extra point as well. So here is how the table stands going into the final episode of the season. Just 4 games left to go, and we are 5th place at the moment, 1 point behind Manchester United in P4. Below us are Arsenal and West Ham. Spurs are also 6 points away from us, but realistically, we shouldn't really drop out of the top 7, even if we have a diabolical episode. Anyway, now time for game number 1 in this one, and we're at home against Brighton here. And as you can see, the side is a pretty strong one. Now, going into this episode, it's not just the league table we should be focusing on in terms of individual accolades. Joseph Martinez is still battling for the golden boot, but having not scored in quite a few games now, I think it's 4 on the bounce, the likes of Harry Kane and Eden Hazard are starting to catch up with him. What I'm trying to say is he probably ought to score in this episode if he wants to wrap up that accolade. Otherwise, it might well be in question despite how good he's been during the course of this year. Johnny Otto there with a great ball down the line for Diogo Jota. He's onside here, as well as the Portuguese winger. Diogo Jota in on goal, and he's put it wide with the finesse. So it was meant to be a finesse. He's not got, oh, he has gone with a finesse, but he's opened his body up way too much there. Moutinho there into Sanchez, through towards Martinez. Just played it the wrong side, but Martinez got on the end of it anyway. How on earth has he done that? He finds the back of the net for the first time in 4 games, and inside 14 minutes we've taken the leader against Brighton. Excuse me, but I am confused. I've got no idea how the Brighton defender hasn't got on the end of that. Sanchez plays it inside the centre-back, and he just completely misses the slide tackle. Fair enough, that's really poor defending, though, from Brighton, and what seemed like a nothing through ball from Sanchez has resulted in Martinez's 22nd Premier League goal of the season. We said he needed to find his form once again. Cody there with the challenge on Arnold, then finds Sanchez. There's men over here, and one of them is Jadon Sancho. He's in a good position to square it into Moutinho, and that is 2-0, and we're in a commanding position now. Matthew Ryan came storming out of his goal, and it just panicked me, to be honest with you. I had to pass it with Sancho into João Moutinho, who scores again. He's in great goal scoring form at the moment, but Brighton just overcommitting players. Sancho getting on the end of the through ball, and Moutinho was never going to miss the open goal, and we're in a good position now. Liking that from Moutinho and Sancho. Liked it from Sancho as well, you know, not being too selfish in possession, as Jahan Kabash there with a header going straight at Patrizio, but Sanchez has got men either side of him literally at the moment. One is Joseph Martinez, who's now clean through on goal, and that is 3. This is too easy. Didn't we slap Brighton earlier on in the season as well? Martinez has grabbed his brace. That's his 23rd for the year in the domestic campaign, and 24 minutes have gone with 3 goals up. It's far too easy. Martinez able to easily get on the end of it and just uses the outside of the boot. To be honest, Brighton need a goal, and they need it very quickly if they're going to get any hope of this, of getting back into this game, really. And, like, I mean, any hope at all. Even then, it's going to be pretty questionable. Jahan Kabash there has his pass blocked by Bolly. Falls Oh my word, Andone with the volley. I thought that was thundering into the top corner. He's connected well with that one as the Romanian. This is João Moutinho. That's Diade Samaseku running on now into Jadon Sancho first time. Good save from Matthew Ryan. Moutinho goes past the defender far too easily as far as Brighton are concerned. Man over is Diogo Jota. It's Diogo Jota to try and score this time, but saved again by Ryan. He's been denied once more. He should have scored earlier, and he probably should have scored by now, really. Oh, lovely flick there from Samaseku into Sanchez. Moutinho, Sanchez, Moutinho back out wide now to Jota. Men in the middle, one of which is Martinez. Takes the shot. What an effort, but again, Ryan is up to the task. He hadn't made a save before the 40th minute. He's made 3 in the last 5 minutes. Lovely touch from Martinez. It would take the almightiest of collapses at this point to lose this lead. Brighton have kind of played into our hands. They've allowed us to play that counter-attacking football we love to play. Although having said that, they're coming forward here, and they found the back of the net. Patrizio got his hand on it, but it has resulted in a goal for Johan Bakash. I have no idea if I pronounced that right, but we hadn't actually touched the ball in this entire second half. Patrizio got a firm hand to it, but just slapped it against his own crossbar instead. It was a good counter-attacking opportunity, but it's fine. Sanchez there with a great ball, actually, to find Joseph Martinez, and he's hit the post. That could have been 4. What a ball that was to find the Venezuelan in the first place. Here's Gibbs White, one more opportunity to try and get a 4th here as he finds Jadon Sancho in acres of space. And he gets himself an injury as he takes the shot. Brilliant stuff. Cleared by Knocker, only as far as Sancho once again, who'll swing it back in. It was actually a great ball to try and find Jota again, but the referee decided to blow for full time. Doesn't really matter anyway, we're in a commanding position and it's a 3-1 victory. So Renato Sanchez was your man of the match, 9.5 rating for him, and Martinez 9.4 as well, does rather nicely. Game 2 now, and after a convincing victory there against Brighton, we're now on the road, Vicarage Road in fact, to face Watford. 2 changes for this one. Ruben Neves is in for Diade Samaseku, having returned from injury, and Helder Costa is in to replace Jadon Sancho. We've had to face Watford many a time in this series so far. I believe this is the 4th encounter with the Hornets, having faced them in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. We got the better of them across 2 legs there. Hopefully we can get the better of them in today's away game as well. Manchester United also won their last game, so going into this one we are still 1 point behind the Red Devils. We've stretched out a 3-point lead over Arsenal and a 4-point lead over West Ham, so European football is looking confirmed in terms of our league position. Neves again, Moutinho, trying to play that one through towards Martinez, might still come to Johnny Otto, who hits the post. Why on earth was the left back there, hitting it on his right foot in the middle of the area? I mean, it would have been brilliant if he'd have scored it, but unfortunately it comes off the outside of the woodwork. Down the line here is Delafeu, good ball in towards Semmer at the back, stick cut back, well blocked by Mbabu, cut back again and well saved by Patrizio. What a save at point blank to deny Nathaniel Chalobah. It was great defending in the first place from Mbabu. Cody loses his man, and what a save from Rui Patrizio. That is absolutely unreal. Corner comes in from Semmer into the head of Chalobah and saved again by Patrizio. Jesus Vallejo into Chalobah. Nice ball to find Benedetto. Great turn as well from Benedetto to get away from Bolly. And he fires it into the far corner past Rui Patrizio. Bolly turned far, far too easily there by the Italian striker. It's been said in the comment section, it's been said by myself, we really need a new centre-back partnership. Bolly is the best of the lot, but even then, that was so poor. Cody was so slow to come across as well. Moutinho swings that one in towards Willy Bolly, who tries to redeem himself, but it's cleared off the line, only as far as Renato Sanchez, and blazed over the bar. Moutinho there out wide is Diogo Jota in a great position. He cuts back inside, and it's blocked by Vallejo. It's getting relatively late on in the game. Moutinho there with the ball through to Joseph Martinez, and it was a good effort on the first time strike, but Cervantes equal to it. Resultant corner will come in by Moutinho into Bolly, and it's wide. Oh, he was running in on it. He should have done better. Again, it was an opportunity for him to redeem himself after that miss, and obviously after conceding really the goal earlier. It was his mistake that led to Watford taking the lead. Moutinho here into Martinez. Moutinho back out wide now into Jadon Sancho. Well struck by Jadon Sancho past Cervantes, and that is the equaliser. I was half expecting it to go wide, to be honest with you, especially after the touch from the goalkeeper, but Sancho off the bench grabs his second for the club, and again another vital goal. It was a late winner against Cardiff. Now it might be a relatively late equaliser, actually. Opens his body up just a little bit, actually. Goes still with his laces. Solantes gets a fingertip to it, but it still nestles into the far corner. This is Tom Cleverly. Bit too much space to operate here. That's into Benedetto, who goes for the shot, actually, from a tight angle. Patrizio always going to parry that one past the post. Late chance then here for Watford. Just 5 seconds of regulation time left. We're into injury time. Moutinho tries to get it clear. Benedetto has his shot blocked, and the success header is saved by Patrizio. And there we go. That is a draw, like the 4th draw of our season after about 35 games. Man of the match was not a Wolves player. That one went to Nathaniel Chalobah, though his rating was shared with Benedetto, the goal scorer for Watford, and João Moutinho as well. So a bit of a shame for us. Well, massive shame for us. Again, an in-form player has been struck by injury. First we had Gibbs White, we had Neves, we had Adama Traore. Now João Moutinho has picked up an injury in training to his hip flexor, and he's out for 12 days. Doesn't sound like much, but given the next 2 games and the final 2 games of the season are in the next 12 days, you're probably not going to see him now for the rest of the season. It sounds so dramatic. It's not exactly a cruciate ligament injury, but it's at a point in the season where you're probably not going to come back from anything. So better news, though, is that we are, of course, at the end of the month, and that means that we've had a lot of growth. So Jadon Sancho, Renato Sanchez, Raul Jimenez, and Leander Dendoncker have all gone up by an overall, amongst others, but I can't quite remember the whole lot of them, to be honest. Time then for the penultimate game of this Premier League season, at home against a fellow promoted side in the form of Fulham. We are back at our full complement, apart from obviously the injury to Moutinho, so it's a midfield of Neves, Sanchez, and Samaseko. I can't lie to you, I do not remember playing Fulham earlier on in the season, but what I do know is that we probably need to win this game if we're going to have any chance of finishing in that top 4. Right now, it's looking likely as if we're going to finish in P5 or P6. Dade Samaseko out wide there to Mbabu, clipped over the top for Adama Traore. He's back into the side after injury, puts the ball in. Very nice ball into Neves, who was flying in. Unfortunately, the defender got there first. Gets swung into the danger zone here by Ruben Neves. That's towards Renato Sanchez, who gets himself on the end of it and scores the header. It is 1-0 to Wolves. He's very good in the air, surprisingly so is Renato Sanchez. It's another assist for Ruben Neves, which puts him back towards the top of the assist list in this series. Really lovely corner, and despite being marked by 2 men, Renato Sanchez nods it into the ground and into the back of the net. He gets the better of Jean-Michel Seri and Callum Chambers. So Adama Traore puts that one into the box towards Ruben Neves. Really poor header though. This now is Dade Samaseko with the strike and a decent little effort towards the bottom corner, but comfortable for Sergio Rico. Renato Sanchez trying to work some space. Still Renato Sanchez! Wasn't far away at all, was definitely troubling Sergio Rico. With the man coming across, I knew I had to go for that near post strike. Just a little bit wide, not too far away at all. Morgan Gibbs White's won that in a dangerous area for Fulham. Not going to press the issue too much. Obviously, we are winning the game anyway. Into Johnny Otto. Gibbs White again, Samaseko, through towards Martinez, and that is a beautiful way to finish off a really nice performance. Joseph Martinez makes it 2 in injury time, and what an assist that was from Dade Samaseko. That is a brilliant ball through. Otto into Gibbs White, into Samaseko, first time defence splitting ball in that position. That is such a nice pass to find Martinez, and first time he just finesses it past Sergio Rico. 2-0. That'll be the final score. That'll be literally the final kick pretty much of the game. And there you can see the referee does blow for full time. 2-0 then the final score. We managed to prevent Fulham having a single shot on target in the game, which says a lot about our performance and our defensive performance and also our midfield performance as well. Providing some really good cover. Dade Samaseko was your man of the match, 9.3, got an assist right at the end. Ruben Neves with an 8.6 and really good ratings too for Johnny Otto, Renato Sanchez and the second goal scorer, Joseph Martinez. So this then is it. The previous 37 games all lead up to this point. The final game of the Premier League season. There's 1 point in it between ourselves and Manchester United in the race for that final Champions League spot. Will we have to settle for the Europa League that we'd already tied up by winning the Carabao Cup, or will we have a shot at somehow reaching the Champions League and the pinnacle of European football? We can drop down into 6th place, but it's quite unlikely. We've got a better goal difference as well than Arsenal. We are now definitely guaranteed European football, so only one game stands between us and history. It's just a shame that one team standing between us and history are the champions of the league. We are facing Liverpool at Anfield in the final game of the season. It is now time for us to try and rain on their champions parade on the final game of the season if we are to get into the Champions League. So here we are, and here is the side that is going to be facing the newly crowned Premier League champions. It is Patrizio in goal with a back four of Kevin Mbabu, Connor Cody, Willy Bolly and Johnny Otto. In midfield we have Samaseku, Sanchez and Neves. Moutinho will have to settle for the bench. He's only fit enough for the bench. And then our front three is Jadon Sancho, Joseph Martinez and Adama Traore. It's time to get into this one. This is it. It's crunch time. It's been business end of the season for a while, but this is the pinnacle. The season finale. Everything from before now is in the past. It's now all about the present and trying to get the best possible result in this game. We just have to better United's result, basically. It doesn't... I think we could technically do it if we draw, but I will have to check on that. So Maseiku there into Renato Sanchez, and now here's Johnny Otto. Down the line is Jadon Sancho. On the edge of the area is Ruben Neves. Oh no, Ruben, hit it with your right foot, son. Oh, he could have let it come across his body and hit it with his right. What a chance in the first 5 minutes of the game. It would really be a dream to be in the Champions League. Obviously, being in Europe, generally speaking, is a feat in itself, but now that we've come this close to the Champions League, I want the Champions League. You know, it's a competition I want to take part in. Renato Sanchez here will take the free kick. It's been a bit of a difficult position, so we'll pass it here into Connor Cody, the ex-Liverpool man. That would have been one hell of a story if our club captain and ex-Liverpool under-21 captain, Connor Cody, had fired us into the Champions League with a long-range screamer against the side that brought him through their academy. Sergio Roberto, though, loses the ball to Johnny Otto. He still wants to prod it in. Well cleared by Connor Cody. He's going to have the game of his life here. Keita here on the edge of the area with the shot, and well saved. One-handed by Rui Patrizio. He saw the ball flash past him multiple times when these two sides faced each other earlier on in the season. Firmino there with the near post header, and again saved brilliantly by Patrizio. He's well up for it. Men ahead of him here. Andrew Robertson. Good challenge from Samaseku. Still falls though to Sergio Busquets. Good save from Patrizio. Sanchez prevents it as well from going out of play. That was really well done again from Patrizio. Samaseku is some great passing play actually. Neves here over towards Jadon Sancho. Cut back into the middle. It's now fallen to Martinez, and Martinez converts into the top corner. It had to be again Martinez, and it all comes down that left-hand side, which has been so dangerous in this game so far. Neves finds Jadon Sancho. It was back towards Neves actually, who gets a touch on it, but it comes all the way through to Martinez, who finesses it past Alisson, and that might be the most important goal of our season. Dependent on the Manchester United result, that might be enough to get us into the Champions League. We'll have to wait and see. And for the first half of football, we have done all that we can do. It's a 1-goal lead at the break. Far from comfortable, especially against a side like Liverpool, but Martinez's goal in the first half means we are doing all that we can do to get Champions League football. Now we need to check on how Manchester United are doing. So let's take a little look. Manchester United are at home against Cardiff. No! As if we've got the most difficult game possible and they've got the easiest. Oh no! Oh, we're going to need Cardiff to do the absolute unthinkable because it's 2-0 at half-time to Manchester United, and as things stand, even us winning this game 1-0 against Liverpool is not gonna be enough. If they were facing someone like Chelsea, I'd have some sort of hope, but the fact they're playing Cardiff fills me with absolutely no confidence at all. Neves there brought down off the ball, so that will be a free kick. Again, awkward position. Sanchez finds Connor Cody for the second attempt at the firecracker, and it's off the post. What an effort from the centre-back. Absolutely phenomenal strike there from Connor Cody, and it's so almost yielded a reward. Meanwhile, Jadon Sancho down the left-hand side in towards Neves, and he's got on the end of it. Virgil van Dijk has been beaten somehow. Ruben Neves sits in front of the Liverpool fans. The absolute shithousery from Ruben Neves. That is brilliant stuff. On the hour mark, we take a 2-goal lead and some sort of redemption for being smacked silly by Liverpool earlier on in the season. Neves missed a great chance earlier, but he scored this time. And I've got to say, Alisson has got to be doing better. Van Dijk's got to be doing better for a start. And it's right down the middle. It's the end of the season for Adama Traore. He's going to come off and he's replaced for the final time by Helder Costa. Hopefully both of these guys will be around for next season. I hope to have them in my plans. They're both very decent players, so I'm sure it's not the last we'll see of either of these guys. It would be nice to keep one last clean sheet over the course of this season as well, actually. So hopefully we can avoid conceding in this game. Good ball inside the fullback to try and find Sadio Mane. There's men in the middle for Mane to aim at. This is Firmino. Good block there from Connor Cody again, though. Shaqiri with the ball in towards Sadio Mane, and a great save from Patrizio. To be honest, I did think that might well have been the clean sheet gone there. Johnny Otto, Sanchez out wide now here into Jadon Sancho. Plays that one inside there towards Martinez. It falls for Neves. It's 3-0. I don't believe it. We're beating the champions 3-0. Ruben Neves grabs his second. It's a fortuitous one because it's a deflected cross that then deflected off Martinez and fell kindly for Neves to half volley in. And we have come to Anfield and we've demolished the champions-elect. It's come off Van Dijk, actually. He's had a really poor game. I don't know if he's fatigued over the course of the season or Liverpool have taken their foot off the gas, but they've been really poor in this game. It just shows if we've been a bit more consistent over the course of the season, we could have been serious Champions League contenders because we've got the quality and we play well. Maybe with a bit more depth in the side, that might improve the situation because we are a little bit thin on the ground. We do, lack a second good striker and a set of very good centre mids to come off the bench. But that is it. Game, set and match. Game over. A 3-0 victory to end the season. What a way to do it. I don't think it'll be enough, really, to get into the Champions League because Manchester United were 2-0 up at half-time against Cardiff. But it is still a very strong way to end the season. 2 goals for that man there, Ruben Neves. The champions, Liverpool, I'm sure, will be disappointed with the result, but obviously across the season they have won the title. I'm sure they can't really complain with that one, but a really convincing victory and a really nice way to end our campaign. No surprise that Ruben Neves was your man of the match. 9.5 rating for him and a 9.5 for Jadon Sancho. Good ratings as well for our centre-back partners, Bolly and Cody. Both of those guys very impressive in keeping a clean sheet today. There you can see, unfortunately, that 3-0 victory was not good enough because Manchester United claimed one of their own at home against Cardiff City. It will be 5th in the league on goal difference. Are you serious? Oh, no way have we missed out on goal difference. That is so tragic. There you can see it. Manchester United actually, with their win, managed to move themselves up into P3 because Chelsea lost at home, would you believe, to Watford. We miss out then on the Champions League on goal difference because they had a goal difference of plus 23, whereas we had a goal difference of plus 21. This is no confirmation of the final table. Your champions are Liverpool, 76 points scored, 70 points for City there in second, and United rise up to third. It'll mean Chelsea have to go through the qualification round of the Champions League. We are P5, behind Chelsea on goal difference, missing out on the Champions League by the smallest of margins, and Arsenal and West Ham will join us in the Europa League. Spurs in P8, Southampton 9th, and Newcastle rounding out your top 10. Down in the bottom half, Everton were leading the way early on in the season, but faltered massively. Burnley there in 12th, then Fulham, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Leicester and Brighton. And despite their win on the final day against Chelsea to deny them P3 in the league, Watford are relegated in 18th place on 40 points as well. Unusual to go down with that amount of points. Huddersfield and Cardiff join them in being relegated down to the Championship. A whopping amount of prize money from our position in the league, £161.2 million. I don't really think it'll go into our transfer kitty, but you never know. We might get a decent portion of that going forward into next season as additional funds. If we get anywhere near that, literally, we are going to have the most disgusting team for Season 2 in all history. For those wanting clarification, Josef Martinez did win the Golden Boot, and it wasn't even close in the end. The brace and then the goal in the final game of the season against Liverpool really assured that. 25 goals across the season in 36 matches. In his first season in England, Harry Kane and Sadio Mane were runners-up, 19 goals apiece as they played every single game of the season. Jesse Lingard got himself 18 and Hazard 17, Firmino with 16, then Cenk Tosun and Ruben Neves with 13 goals apiece. Neves obviously got a brace in the final game of the season against Liverpool, so fair play to him. I don't know how he scored that many goals, but very impressive season overall for Ruben Neves. Wilshere and Lukaku ran out the top 10, then we've got Zaha, Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan, Son, Vardy, Salah, Arnautovic, Sigurdsson, Alexis Sanchez, and Bobby Reed. And then running out the top 25 is Gabby Jesus, João Moutinho with 9 goals for himself, Christian Benteke, Ashley Barnes, and Kevin De Bruyne. Assists-wise, yep, you are reading that right. The top 3 are all Wolves players. Ruben Neves with 12 assists and 13 goals in 31 matches. 25 goals created or involved in for Ruben Neves across the season is absolutely outrageous. Renato Sanchez also gets himself 12 assists and João Moutinho with 11. Then it's Arnautovic and Wilshere with 9, along with Diane Samaseku as well. And clean sheets wise, probably the most baffling of them all. Rui Patricio got the Golden Glove. My man got 12 clean sheets across the season. We literally had one of the worst defences all year, and Patricio kept the most clean sheets. That is the biggest paradox I've ever seen in my life. I mean, in fairness, when we did lose, we usually lost heavily. I mean, we conceded 7 to Liverpool, 6 to Tottenham. I think we conceded 5 to Bournemouth one time. We conceded 5 to someone else once. Like, when we lose, we concede a lot of goals. So, and here is the official EPL team of the season. Rui Patricio in goal, Andrew Robertson, Willy Bolly, Sead Kolasinac and Elzad Hazai in defence, Sadio Mane, Renato Sanchez and Diane Samaseku, with Mo Salah, Josef Martinez and Harry Kane rounding out the team. So a multiple amount of Wolves players, 5 in total. Patricio, Bolly, Sanchez, Samaseku and Martinez, and yet still no place for Ruben Neves. Very interesting indeed. As you can see, confirmation, Wolves will be in the UEFA Europa League for next season. Very excited to get some European football going in this series. And an interesting little stat for you to end everything for this season. Not a single player was red carded. Very solid discipline. Good fair play from Wolves. I'm liking that. In the background now, though, you'll be seeing the Hall of Fame. This is where all the records and accolades are kept for this series. And this is how it looks at the end of season number 1. For anyone confused, we will be continuing these statistics into season number 2, so we'll continue to keep a tally of the most amount of goals scored in the series, not the season. So Josef Martinez will still have however many goals he scored in the series when we start season number 2. You'll see it properly when the first episode of season 2 comes out. And also in the top right of the screen, for the final time this season, you'll be able to vote for your player of the episode. Anyway, there you have it. That is the end of season number 1 of the Wolves career mode here on FIFA 19. Overall, a very successful year. Europa League football, 5th place in the Premier League, missing out the Champions League on goal difference. A very good set of performances in this episode and across the year as well. I'll go into a bit more detail as to who really impressed me, who didn't, in the first episode of season 2, which you'll see in 4 odd days' time. I hope you guys are okay with that schedule for this series at this point in time. Make sure to let me know down in the comment section below who you would like me to sign in this series, and equally, conversely, who would you like me to sell in this series as well. I've got a couple of players in mind, not too many first team players obviously, although there might be one going out of the door. We'll have to wait and see, but for now, that is it for season 1 of Wolves career mode, and that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed, slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video, and it massively helps me out if you go ahead and press that one. You can also follow me on social media these days too. My Twitter and Insta are at @theofficialfng, and links are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
I've been smoking and drinking. Say the weed and the voice got me thinking skeptical. Boy, you better know when I'm under the influence. If I say shit, then I meant it all. Had a flashback when I used to kick ball and the coach told me I weren't technical. Man, I lost all the air in my lungs and it's like a man took a low blow to the testicles. Now you see the spare time, I invest it all to the music. Dug deep, now I'm seeing improvements. Spill force on the ink on the page and it feels therapeutic, yeah.